Thank you very much. Representative Holder-Winfield.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. First, I have a question about CHAP. In response to Representative Walker earlier, the number 20,662 was given, talking about numbers of families that would be excluded with the move. Was that number the total number of families under this move, or was it just for the families of 4? I kind of missed that.
I believe it was the total number.
Those are the CHAP households are both 200% of federal poverty, but under 60% of state.
So,
thank you very much. I think that if you're going to take that as an answer, he has to come to the microphone, introduce himself, and give the answer so that it can be on the record. Yeah, you can go over there and introduce yourself, and you might want to sit there just in case you need to. Push the button, and you'll see a red light. There you go. Okay, now you are?
My name is Tom O'Brien. I'm with the Department of Social Services in the Energy Services Unit. The 20,662 represented the number of households who were approved last year on the CHAP program, but whose incomes were over 200% of the federal poverty guidelines, but under 60% of state median income. So those would be the households who, while they received a benefit last year, would not receive one this year.
So, but it is for every level, if it's a 2-family, 4-family, whatever it is,
Correct.
how it breaks out.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess to you, Mr. Barnes, I recognize that in a lot of your responses you talk about what you hope happens with the federal government, but as I look at this, I don't know what's going to happen. I think your statement about the normal dynamics of budget establishment are somewhat different. It's something that I think is driving some of the conversation here. And so I guess to some of the questions we just had, in May, if this abnormal way of operating continues to happen and we don't have some resolution that is helpful here, I think the administration is probably thinking about what we're going to do. I just haven't heard it. And that's concerning to me. Because I don't know what happens to these families that we're excluding here. And I'm not just concerned about the fact that they have bills that are piling up. That's a concern. But my question is, if they get cut off and we get back around to the point where it's winter and they're negotiating bills and maybe they're still cut off, maybe they have some of their bills back, what happens at that point? Because they're not in the system not to be, they're not in the system such that they won't be discontinued, right? They're out of the system. What happens to them at that point? Have we thought about that?
I'm not sure.
So if I'm a utility, I'll try to clarify, and maybe I'm just perceiving this incorrectly. If I'm a utility heated household and I have remained outside of the system, I'm not in the system so that I can't be discontinued in terms of my utility heat.
Well, if you're having difficulty paying your bills, if you fall in arrears, they will immediately place you as a hardship customer, and contact you, and you will be given the moratorium protection. After May 1st, it's true, the moratorium protection goes away, and you may be subject to shutoff. I don't believe that, while I haven't given a firm answer as to what we will do if the federal government doesn't fund, because frankly there are not good choices. The state of Connecticut is budgeted within $1 million of its spending cap, and even more relevant, within a similar amount of what we anticipate bringing in revenues. We do not have, at this point, I'm not projecting that we will have surplus funds available for any purpose. In fact, we are going to be, this is a very tight budget year, as you all know. The budget that we adopted creates some extraordinary challenges. I am hopeful that when when this decision needs to be made in the spring of 2012, that we will have more options, that we will have some additional federal money and perhaps some additional flexibility at the state level to begin to address these problems. In the long run, I absolutely think that if the federal government is walking away from this program on a permanent basis, that we as a state need to deal with whether that's something that we intend to make up for using state tax dollars. I don't know the answer to that question. It's premature, but I think it's entirely appropriate for us to begin considering how we can honor the commitment to this program in the long run in a period of uncertainty about federal revenues. I wish I had a good answer for you. I don't know the answer.
And I would just say to you that I respect your position that it's premature, but I don't think it's premature. We're being asked to make a decision about this program, and every decision we make will have an impact on what happens. So as a person who has to take a vote, I don't think it's premature. I think it's informative. I guess one more question. I think it's good that you're accepting and processing the applications, and you say that leads to the ability to participate in the matching payments program. I don't know if you would know this or not, but I think that having the LIHEAP program available for some people is their means of making those payments. How many people do we estimate just won't be able to make payments, and so therefore, even though you're doing that, really has no benefit to them?
I don't know, but it is absolutely correct that the LIHEAP payment is utilized as part of the matching payment. It counts as a customer payment under the matching payment program, and so loss of LIHEAP funding will unquestionably make participation in the matching program more difficult for individuals.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.